labels bound if x is equal to center. Okay, and then also one for the, let's continue this. We want to have these coordinates as well. Center coordinates is equal to coordinates center indexes, because we only had one there. And then we want to find the center of this object. Center of center bounding box. Center x center is equal to center coordinates 0 plus center coordinates 2 minus center coordinates 0 x1 x2 minus x1. So this is x1 plus the width, x2 minus x1. There's different ways to do this. Probably another way to do it as well. You can always change it if you want, but here's this version. Let's do that. Divided by 2. And then we're going to do center of the y similarly. Center y, this is going to be 1, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the needle tip class label. And yep. Now the next part is find the angle. So say dy, the length of the y from the center to the tip of the needle is going to equal to center y needle tip minus the center y center. The center of the center object and center of the needle tip. And then we're also do for this for dx is equal to center x needle tip minus okay, and then we get the theta. Theta is equal to math dot arctang 2 dy dx theta. This is in radians, so we want this in degrees. Theta is math dot degrees theta. And then this is give us a floating point, so we want to have this rounded out. Round theta. Okay. And so when you look at this, this is your screen. This would be your left. Yeah, your left, your right. Okay, so your right side. On your right side in the horizontal plane, this could be a value of 0, and that goes to 0 to 90 to 180, and then it goes to negative 90 to 180. I want this to start 0 at the bottom part, and I want it to have pretty much to go like all the way around, where it goes like 0, 90, 270, 360, 0, 90, 180, 270. So let's do that. The starting point theta is equal to theta, it's 90. Changes negative theta to appropriate value. if theta is less than 0, theta times a negative value, and theta is equal to theta plus 270. Just to add onto here, I missed this section right here for the theta, where we had to change the signs before changing the start position. Let's just show theta now. Let's write a section that puts the degrees on the center object. It's the degrees on center object, or label, index, label, and enumerate labels down. If there is center and label, we want to change the label for center. Labels bound label index is equal to label plus string of theta, string of theta plus degrees. Okay. And now we want to work on the part that saves video output. If save annotated videos, just a constant I had on top, which is true. For coordinate index and rate coordinates start is equal to 0 at 0 at 1. So we're pretty much just finding the start points of the bounding box and the end point of the bounding box, and we're going to draw rectangles on the image or the frame, and we're going to also create like a label on top of the object, just so the video can show where it's finding these objects. So yeah. Point to net the color we want. So this is the purple or magenta color. Color 1. Color 2 will just be white. We'll use that for the label names. It's equal to pretty much the same thing, except the middle one is also 255. Thickness of the box is going to be, or the box is going to be 1, 2. We're going to draw the rectangle. Image before color. Parts, points, and point. The image, start point, end point. What color we want, color 1, and then what thickness we want. And then we also want to have a text, start point of the text. We don't want it to start at the same location where the bounding box starts at. We want it to be above the bounding box. So start point text is going to equal to start point 0. It's 5, 0. So here we have the x starting point, and then we also have the y. The y value is going to be some value minus 5 pixels going up. But if that top part is above like the limit of the frame, then we don't want it to try to draw above that. It's not going to. It's probably going to have an error. So I just put a max value of 0 or that value. So like let's say you're at the bounding box top part is at pixel 2 and you subtract it by 5, then you're at -3. So the max value is 0, so it goes with 0 instead. Endpoint. Endpoint should be the same, or it doesn't really happen. Okay. Font. I'll go with 2. Font. Hershey. Simplex. Simplex. Okay. Font. Font. Scale. It's going to equal to 0.5. Thickness. Text. Let's go. 1. So what image we want, what labels, labels found. Found. Coordinate index.